This is Dr. Zorba Pastor, and I want to talk to you today about the fact that the Wall Street Journal reported that President Donald J. Trump has become frustrated with HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy because he's not moved aggressively enough to reduce childhood vaccinations. Here's a guy who wants to pretty much get rid of as many childhood vaccinations as possible. And he's doing this, according to the Wall Street Journal, for political reasons. And despite decades of research finding no credible link with autism. So let's travel back in time. Let's be in the Wayback Machine. You remember from Bullwinkle and Rocky the Squirrel, and there was Mr. Peabody. So in 1943, there was the first description of autism. Now, keep in mind it occurred before 1943. This is before the DSM criteria. It was called early infantile autism, and the prevalence was estimated at 4 per 10,000 children. So these were the severe autistics. Then in 1944, Hans Asperger, that's right, the Asperger syndrome, described children with social difficulties, intense special interests, normal or above average intelligence, no major language disease, as something that eventually got called Asperger syndrome. DSM-1 came out, da-da-da-da-da-da. Psychiatry tries to basically standardize diagnosis. There was no diagnosis for autism. People who had autistic behaviors were classified as psychotic or childhood schizophrenia. They didn't even have a separate diagnosis. Then 1968, keep in mind, that is 1952 to 1968, 16 years later, still, there's no autism diagnosis. All the children who we would call autistic were now called childhood schizophrenics. Certainly different. Then in 1980, the first diagnosis of autism came off. It had an onset before 30 months, severe language impairment, abnormalities, restricted interest. Still, we don't have a lot. 1987, we had autistic disorder, which also had social impairment. And in 1994, it got changed. It was called pervasive developmental disorder. It was called BPTD. And that include autistic behavior, Asperger's, named after the guy, PDD, Rett syndrome, and childhood degenerative disorder. Lots of things. Then in the year 2000, finally, we have a different diagnostic criteria called mild autism and severe autism. In 2013, a major revision, it was called autism spectrum disorder, and boom, it included lots of different things. So a lot of what we see as autistic behavior now is actually because the criteria has changed. In 2022, they made another change. They said we're going to clarify the wording, and we're going to do a continued emphasis on lifelong neurodevelopmental condition, whatever that means, individualized support. So why has autism become more common? Number one, broader diagnostic criteria. Number two, broader diagnostic criteria. Number three, broader diagnostic criteria. Greater awareness, definitely sure. Physicians, educator, and parents, they look up the criteria and they go, hey, my kid has autism because, among other things, they will get extra help in the schools, which they should get, but a broader criteria. Earlier screening, improved access to services, recognition of, quote, the milder presentations. Da-da-da-da-da. Why is it increased? Because we have milder presentations. So the idea that Tylenol causes autism is absolutely not proven in any scientific medical journal. Now, is there an increase in autism, minimal autism? Probably, I think so. Or maximal autism? I'm not sure about that. What is the cause? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's all the stuff that goes into Twinkies and ultra processed foods. We don't really know that. Maybe it's also a function of what's going on in social media. Remember, parents used to look at their kids when they're playing soccer. Now they look at their phone. And if their kids score a goal, they go, oh, I missed that. So maybe part of it is that. We know it's not parenting that starts it. Don't get me wrong. Parenting does not cause autism. But it may be that they're more aware of their kids doing things because parents may not be spending as much time as they should. Not caused it, but maybe there's a parenting issue too. It's clearly multidimensional, but it is not from immunizations. So if you're debating whether or not to give your kid MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, polio, tetanus, whooping cough, all the things that you should be giving your kids, pneumonia, hip vaccine to prevent meningitis, and a whole bunch of other things, which have saved lives, it does not cause autism. And the answer is, we don't have the answer, but it's not based on those shots. Robert F. Kennedy is wrong, wrong, wrong. And the President of the United States, if indeed he's worried we're not pushing that out, is wrong because it's really anti-science. And I am for science no matter who's in the White House, the Senate, or the House of Representatives. I'm the science guy. Dr. Zorba, Pastor here. Stay well.